I mentioned money management in the prior section in Trading 101, and I also introduced you into the concept of step 1, step 2, and step 3 in the trade example video. So if you did the one-to-one course, you should have filled in this document right in front of me. If not, don't worry about it, it's fine. There's one or two examples in the book which you can refer back to, relate back to. But we're going to go through this together. So we've got step 1, step 2, step 3. So first things first, let's go through the sheet. Firstly, work out the percentage of the base capital, which is here. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different examples of various capital sizes, various capital amounts. 10,000, 66,000, stretching all the way up to 778,000. Percentage risk on each trade, that's going to vary as well. But why does the risk often vary? The risk can often vary due to time of the day. Is there any news coming out before you actually take this trade, or news later on in the week that you may be unsure about? Don't really want to miss the opportunity. Do you have 3 confluences? Do you have 4 confluences telling you to enter the trade? Do you have 2 confluences, 3 confluences, or just 1 confluence as to where the currency pair can run to? There's many factors as to why your risk amount can differ. Some people like to keep it a straight 1% every single trade regardless, which is cool. I advise that myself. Some people like to go a little bit more, 3%, 4%, even maybe 5%. Now, if you are risking 4% or 5%, that's going to be down to, okay, how much can I afford to lose in this market? Have I got enough money, whereas if I make a few bad trades, I'm not really relying on any more profits to be taken out of my account very soon, so I don't end up falling into the trap of emotional trading, emotional mistakes. Spiral, a downward spiral into the abyss due to a few risky trades not going too well. Now you are desperate to get those pips back, that money back. Are you going through a troublesome time in your life, whether it be financially, emotionally? We will go through different stages and different things in our life, which can also impact our mental state and our trading. We can often think that, okay, I've not really had a good week, whether it be in the market or outside the market. And you may want to just ramp up those lot sizes because you may feel that the market giving you some money, or you making some money from the market due to high lot sizes, may give you a little bit of a thrill, a dopamine factor, serotonin factor. Alright, so that's what a lot of gambling is based off, and I've been there myself many times, don't get me wrong. I've already mentioned I'm quite an extreme person, quite a risky person. And sometimes we do just look for trades and enter trades just to get the buzz, just to be in the market. Why? Because it feeds our dopamine and serotonin receptors in our brain. So percentage risk and the amount we're going to risk is going to be reliant on many different factors. Now, just for the examples, I've done 1%, 2%, 3%. We're going to go into working that out first. That is part of step 1. Step 2 is the stop loss amount in pips. Every single trade before we enter, every single trade, we are going to work out the stop loss, depending on what strategy we're using, depending on what time frame we're using. You're going to be clued up on all of this. You're going to know all of this by the end of the course. Always use the risk reward tool to see if it lines up. So in this case, let's say we were risking 85 pips. We're going to be going for a minimum of 85 pips for that 1-to-1 risk reward. If you have a 1-to-2 risk reward, you're going to be risking 85 pips for around 160, 170 pips, 1-to-2 risk reward. So that's that. And then you got the amount per pip, which obviously we need to know in order to place into our broker account, whichever it may be. Is it a MetaTrader broker, which I've already gone through prior video, or do you have something like IG Index where it allows you to place £1 a pip? And I showed you examples of both of those. So with MetaTrader and a few other brokers out there, to be honest, I personally have only really had experience with IG Index, where it allows you to put pound per pip, and alternative brokers, even IG, do offer the MT4 platform, but with MT4 you're not placing in pound per pip, it's contract size. I'll go through how to convert that as well. Really simple. Now, that is it. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to try keep this video as direct as possible. But this is very, very important. But don't get me wrong, this is probably the most complicated piece of maths you need to learn or need to apply into the foreign exchange market. So don't worry, it comes naturally. Practice, practice, practice. As I say, when you do have your risk amount in mind and your risk figure in mind, you can just say to yourself, you know what, I'm comfortable with risking this 3%, £150, £200, £300 at each and every trade. It's the barrier which is going to prevent you from falling off the FX cliff and damaging your capital. The only reason you can fail in this market, and I won't really, sometimes it's failure, sometimes it isn't. It is if you know that you're going to enter a risky trade and you know there's a potential that's going to go wrong and you go ahead and enter anyway because you're acting on emotions and you're being greedy, being impatient, and whatever other factors come into the equation, then yeah, you're an idiot. Putting it bluntly, and I've done it many, many times before, landing myself in trouble because, I've risked way too much on a few trades, tried to get it back, risking even more. It can happen to the best of us. So please, going forward, trust me, even if you've got a small account balance, you fill in the spreadsheet, which is part of the journal, which we're going to go into later of the course. You get some months down where you can trust yourself with money. Investors will come and they will find you if you need investors, or you can build your own account. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so 10,989, we need to work out 3% of this figure firstly. So what I like to do, guys, is you can pull up a calculator. Now, 10,989, that is our base capital amount. I always work out 1% first. So to work out 1%, we get the figure and we divide whatever figure it is by 100, equals £109.89. That's 1%. We want 3%. So what do? We times it by 3, equals £329.67, or dollars, whatever it may be, Canadian dollars, yen. It's not really relevant. So 3% of 10,989 is £329.67. To make things easy on yourself, round it up to the nearest 10. So in this case here, I'm going to say 330. Cool. On to the next one. Slightly bigger account this time. We'll fill in step 3 afterwards once we have all of these figures down. So, starting again. 66,898. This time we want 2%. Again, we want to find our 1% first. Divide it by 100, £668.98. To get 2%, we're timesing it by 2, equals £1,337.96. So here I would say £1,340. Cool. Next one, slightly bigger account this time, 107k, 108k. So 107,987. And this is 1%, so we can do straight divided by 100 equals £1,079.87. £1,080. 1,080. Next, we want 2% of the next figure, slightly smaller account this time. So we have £56,989. We want 2%, so same thing, let's divide by 100. It's £569.89. We want 2% times 2 equals £1,139.78. So 1,140. Last but not least, slightly larger account this time. 778. So 778,905. We want 3%. So divide it by 100. That's our 1%. So 1% is £7,789.05. And we want 3%, so we times it by 3 to get that figure there. £23,367.15. I'm going to round that up to 70s. So 23,370. 23,370. It's a big risk. Big risk. So this is the trader's dream, to get to these levels. Okay, it was definitely my dream. I'm sure we've all had the compound interest calculator stuck on our walls at one point in our lives when we first started trading. Okay, I'm going to get my account from 1,000 to 16 million, and it's going to take me 18 months if I follow the sheet. Easy said and done, right? Anyway, if you have a balance of 700, $750,000, then the risk figure is slightly larger, 23,370. That's 3%. So, around what 1% is going to be around 7,000, 8,000. So imagine how much money you can make when you do have that kind of capital. And you can work towards this. It's not just going to come overnight. So when you're trading on a £500, £1,000, £2,000, even £5,000 account, don't expect to flip it, okay, and be on these levels straight away. I certainly fell into that trap many, many times over. Okay, you're going to just burn yourself out. Now, as I say, going back to the 1% of this figure, 7,000, 8,000, even if you made 1% a week or 2% a week, you're looking at 8,000, 16,000 a week. Okay, and it's all just a number game. It's all just a number game. But when you do get to these numbers, your psychology and your mental state will have to improve. You'll have to be very, very sharp, be very, very efficient on the charts, and try not to get sucked into the money, because the pips and the percentages remain static throughout. And what I mean by that is it's all the same. It's all the same risk reward. It's all the same technicals. It's just the figures are changing. So that's why I say focus on pips and percentage first of all. Anyway, okay, let's start up here. Time's moving on this video. So what we then do, we got our risk amount going forward. So 330, because remember, to find, so basically you get step 1, which is this, divided by step 2 equals step 3. Simple as that. So 330 divided by 85 equals £3.88. And what can we do? We can just round it up. £4 a pip. Round it up to the nearest 50 or 100 with that one. I won't do it to the nearest do it to the nearest 50 or 100, because if you are using MetaTrader, which you'll see in a moment, if you round it to the nearest 10, it can just get a little bit sticky and all over the place. I just like to round it up to the nearest 50 or 100 personally. Right, so next one we have our risk 2%, which is 1,340. And we're going to divide that by a slightly larger stop loss amount, so dividing it by 110 pips. So that's given us £12.80. With this one, as I say, nearest 50 or 100, we can just go in at £12. No biggie. Next one, we're risking 1%. Our 1% figure is 1,080. We're going to be dividing this by 67 pips this time, divided by 67 pips stop loss equals £16.11, which gives us a nice round number at £16. Next, we have our risk amount 1,140, 1140, divided by 95 pips stop loss equals 12. It's £12 a pip, bang on. So over here, we have our big boy risk, 3% risk on our huge account. So it's 23,370 divided by 78 pips equals 299.61. So we can go £300 a pip. £300 a pip. There we go, guys. Easy as that. Base capital amount, we find out the risk. Stop loss is going to come down to the technicals. These are just prime examples. All right. And we get the amount per pip. Now, lot size conversion for the MT4 brokers, you don't type in £4 a pip. You do if you're on the IG index or any other broker out there, which does let you just place in, pound per pip. However, on MetaTrader, I showed you earlier on the earlier video, it's lot size. So put in like 1.0 for £10. But at the bottom of here, as you can see, this is MetaTrader. So 1.0 That's known as a standard lot, or one lot, 1.0. That's the equivalent to $10 or £10 per pip, or 10 Canadian. Depends what your account is in. Okay, is it in yen? Is it in Canadian dollars, Australian dollars? But generally speaking, 1.0, one standard lot, is equivalent to £10 a pip. 0.5 is $5 or £5 or 5, whichever currency per pip. 0.1 is $1. And you can get accounts where you can go lower than that and do like 50 cents or 50 pence, 10 pence. They're micro accounts, and it's normally 0.01. That would be 10 pence or 10 cents. Okay, so with this being said, one lot. So here we haven't quite reached £10 a pip. So the lot size conversion for MT4 is 0.4. Here 12 is 1.2. 16 is 1.6. 12 again, 1.2. And then 300 is 30. 30 lots, 30 contracts. That's that. That's how we work it out. So just a quick recap. One standard lot is 1.0. 1.0 or 1 is £10 or $10 a pip. So here 12 is 1.2 because 0.5 is $5, 0.1 is $1. So let's say we had £19 a pip, it would be 1.9. Let's say we had £21 a pip, it would be 2.1. So that's money management there. Okay, we're going to be covering more aspects of this later on in the course. I'm now going to go on to risk reward and how to plot that on a chart. I'm not going to go too into detail on risk reward just yet, but I'm going to go through the dynamics of it and why it's important. So money management, risk reward, getting your mind right, getting your charts right. They're the first foundations, and obviously knowing all of the terminology as well, which is in the Astro Effects book, before getting busy onto the charts. Now, if you get this right and you stick to this over and over again, you're going to have no issues. As I say, you can only really fail if you just ignore all of this. Now, this is what will keep you afloat in the market, okay? So I hope that video was helpful. On to the next.